guys, what's going on? Welcome to Jay Speak. First, I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a wonderful one. And this week, we will go over some questions. First question, have I checked out Synergy amps? There's a few different brands that you can use in this module system that go into a rack unit or like a head. There's a Friedman, there's a Diesel, there's Morgan. It's the preamps, basically. I guess is the easiest way to explain it. But no, I have not gotten into that. I'd like to try it sometime. I just haven't gotten there. There's a lot of gear like that. Again, we've discussed, we all have problems. Question 2, have I tried any Morgan amps? No, but I would like to try an AC20. I've seen a lot of demos. I haven't played one myself, but I'm definitely interested in them. I don't know, you could see something here. Maybe I'll give one a whirl, but I have not at this point. Question 3, in my opinion, would I prefer a Marshall DSL20 or like a Friedman Pink Taco? You know, honestly, the Pink Taco is a totally different amplifier from the DSL20. The DSL20 is like a third the cost. You know what, you get 2 channels, reverb. If you need a good cheap amp or a good backup, the amp is fine. Personally, I'd rather have the Pink Taco, but I think it's one of those things, if you have the means, the Pink Taco is a pretty mean amplifier. I will say it's not my favorite. I think the DSL can sound kind of pedal-esque. By that I mean, like, the distortion sometimes just sounds like a Metal Zone or something. And actually, I saw a comment like that, and that's pretty close. It's interesting, the DSL by itself, if you play it by itself and you're not comparing it directly to another amplifier, it sounds pretty good. I think as soon as you throw it up against another amp, it's maybe not as impressive as it was when you tried it by itself. That makes sense? Personally, I think the Friedman is better built, but you have more options on the DSL, it's cheaper, it's not a bad amp. So last one is not a question, it's more of like a statement. And the comment was along the lines of, why don't YouTubers give their actual opinion? Are they scared of like manufacturers saying something? Truthfully, I don't give my opinion all the time. Like in the beginning, I think I did. And then for a while I didn't, and I kind of go back and forth whether or not I share my feelings about a certain product. If I'm using it a lot, chances are I dig it. Granted, there are pieces where I just get to compare, and that is solely the purpose of that piece of gear. I get it for a while and I move it and it's gone. I'd like you to formulate your own opinion based off the video I've presented. You know, YouTube's interesting because you have the player and the way they use the gear. The way I use something is not the way someone else is going to use something. And I think the beauty of YouTube demos is that you get such a wide variety of what gear sounds like. There are other ways to use gear, and I think it's nice that there is the variety. I feel like if you bring up a guitar demo, and every demo of that piece of gear is like blues tracks, it's totally not relevant for me. I think it's important to take what everybody on YouTube says with a grain of salt and go try gear yourself. I think this gives you a good idea of what stuff can sound like. There's, a benefit to being in a room with a piece of gear and playing it yourself. I'm going to use it differently than you're going to use it, and that's great. You can take a piece of music and say, it's this chord progression, just play it to this beat. Not everyone is going to play it exactly the same to that track, which is awesome. And I mean, at the end of the day, there's only a handful of notes. Well, I guess a couple handful of notes that you can play. So what can you do differently with it than anyone else can? And sometimes basic is good and sometimes complicated is good too. So, it's not that I am afraid of stating my opinion. It's just sometimes I don't necessarily think about it. There's a lot of gear that I'm on the fence about. You can compare 2 amps and I think they're both great, but they're good and they excel at different things. So you have to kind of put in perspective of, well, what's it going to do for you? If you play a lot of rhythm and you only play a couple leads, or if you're a lead player, you're going to use the gear differently. So it's important to understand that my opinion might not necessarily matter because we don't play the same style of music. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I guess the point is that lots of different gear can be used a lot of different ways. I will try to get better about that, but no, I'm not scared of manufacturers. I don't have any affiliate deals with anybody. I don't deal with anybody, so it doesn't really matter if a company doesn't specifically like me. I don't care. No, I just don't always think about sharing my opinion, and that's my own fault. I will try to get better about it. As I said when I started the video, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and you enjoy time with your family, and I hope you get that piece of gear you wanted. Why don't you tell me what piece of gear you were hoping for? Yeah, I'd love to know. I think for me, there's a couple Walrus audio pedals that I want to get. The Julia and Lillian. I'd like to give those a whirl. Other than that, I'd like another Friedman Vintage T, maybe an SS100, which apparently they're coming out with a second version of that. If we're going only gear, that's kind of what I want. So what do you want for Christmas? Let me know. Let me know what you wanted, and if Santa brought it to you in like a week, because we got a few more days before Christmas comes. So, as always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.